Hi everybody, Tim Thompson back at another week to give you some tax tips. And this week we're going to talk about the Secure Act. So fun stuff. Don't get lost in all the details. But Congress passed something at the end of the year last year, and I've had a few questions on it already, so I wanted to address it. First off, yes, tax season is just underway, and it is already in full swing. I saw an article last week. The IRS said that they expected a big swell of returns to start coming through in the next 2 weeks. So don't get caught waiting around. I know it's only mid-February right now, but they're going to come fast and furious. So get them on in. Let's get them worked. Obviously, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. So I'll be more than happy to help you. So let's get on talking about the Secure Act. The Secure Act, I've got my paper so I can remember, because remember, Congress makes up some awesome names for these new laws. The Secure Act is setting every community up for retirement enhancement. So what is the Secure Act all about? Well, it actually has business and personal implications, and I'm going to go over both of those on here. First off, for businesses, in the past, employers have been able to set up retirement plans, unrelated employers. If they kind of wanted to pool together and hopefully reduce the costs that are associated with administrating a retirement plan, they could get together, but that was only by rule. In effect, there were so many red tapes and things holding them back from making a good combination that it really wasn't worth it, and it ended up costing more, so a lot of them just did away with it. Well, Secure Act eliminated a lot of that red tape that makes these things a little bit easier to get into. So if you know some other small businesses that you think, hey, let's pool our resources, number one, it'll reduce the cost. Number two, it'll expose us to greater fund availability for our employees. That's a great thing. It's something to start considering. So definitely dig in the details on that. There's also an increased tax credit for the small business employer retirement plan. So if you're setting up a retirement plan for your employees, you can get a credit from anywhere from $500 to $5,000. So that's kind of a cool thing too. I'm not even going to try to share the formula with you because we'll need a spreadsheet to figure it out. I'm really good at spreadsheets. Ask my brother. But definitely it's something to look into if it's something you're interested in. And then there's an additional credit that if you set up your retirement plan to where every employee is automatically enrolled, that's a great deal too. And there's a credit available for that. I think the credit that I saw in here was up to $500 of the startup costs on these. So that's a pretty cool deal. But the Secure Act doesn't just touch businesses. The Secure Act is beneficial for individuals, except for in one area that we got to be real careful of. But first off, the maximum age for making traditional IRA contributions completely repealed. So you can make retirement contributions if you're still living, breathing, walking, and have earned income, which is generally wages or self-employment income. But if you're working into your 70s, there's no restriction. The restriction used to be at 70 and a half, and now it's down. Now it's gone away. So if you've got earned income, you can put all that in an IRA and get some tax deductibility out of it. That's a pretty cool enhancement. Another thing that enhanced it for those of you that are having to take RMDs, and for those of you who don't, an RMD is a required minimum distribution. You are required at a certain age to start taking required minimum distributions. That required minimum distribution age went from 70 and a half to 72. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a big deal to those folks who have some income still, because people are working later and they don't want to have to take these minimum distributions that they've been piling money in and drive it up and make it exposed to tax. So this is just one more step to try to reduce that. Another really cool benefit is that you can take penalty-free withdrawals from your IRA for either birth or adoption expenses. You can take up to $5,000 per person. If you're a married couple, then you can take up to $10,000 for either birth or adoption expenses, and you won't be subject to the 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, you will be subject to the normal income taxes that you have to pay on those when you take the draw, but you won't be subjected to the 10% penalty, and that's a pretty cool add. Now, here's the one little thing that is kind of freaking a lot of people out, especially older folks who have these big IRA funds and they're trying to figure out how to leave them behind. In the old days, if you inherited an IRA, or if your spouse died and you were the beneficiary, you could basically set it up to take a required minimum distribution. They were called stretch IRAs, and you could stretch them out up until your life expectancy. So let's say you were 40 and you inherited your parents who passed away at age 70 and they had a big IRA. Well, then in your life expectancy may be 82, so you get to take that and divide it by 42, and you got this really long stream of income. May not be much, but you wouldn't have to pay anything additional on it. Well, now they limited that to 10 years. So that's the one big caveat that I've heard a lot of financial advisors pointing this out, and all of us accountants are starting to get on board with that too. It's part of your planning, your retirement planning, what you're going to do with your retirement assets. Be looking at that, because if you receive something in the form of a inherited IRA through, like through inheritance, for lack of a better word, then the ability to stretch that is now gone beyond 10 years. So it's something to keep in mind. It could definitely, especially if it's a sizable IRA, it could definitely bump your taxes up in those 10 years. So you may want to think about something else or think about some other plans that you can do with that money. There's a whole lot to the Secure Act. And I can't possibly go over it all in a video like this, but definitely if you have any questions, reach out to me, post it in the links below, reply back to me, follow me on any of the social medias that I'm on. Gosh, I've got, like I said last week, I've got Facebook, I've got my Facebook page, it's Tim Thompson CPA. Obviously I have the website, mydfwcpa.com. I'm on Instagram, still don't know how to use it. My daughter's at college, so when she gets back, she's gonna train me. Got Twitter, obviously email, which you can reach me on the mydfwcpa.com, and I'll help you out. And we have the YouTube channel where these videos are posted. So any questions you have about the Secure Act, or anything for that matter, just reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you, and wish all you the best. Have a great week.